Hi everybody, happy Thursday. I think I found the secret to seeing what I want to see on Y&R. Apparently you gotta make 2 videos a day and scream a little. Okay. Because okay, so I made a video last night called Y&R Part 2. In that I described the last 2 moments I didn't see in yesterday's episode. I also talked about the fact of some stuff I didn't like and why I didn't like it. And lo and behold, today, woo, well, they opened up with Billy going to Jack's house. So we got to see Peter Bergman and Jason Thompson in all their glory. Thank you, so Jesus. He's really excited because Sally is pregnant and he proposed last night or yesterday. Okay. And then they switch around to Christine took the job as DA, not a big leap. The reason why it's kind of interesting is because now she might be able to put Phyllis away in jail for a long time based on the evidence, quote unquote, that Victor and Victoria claim they have against Phyllis. So we'll see how that goes. Plus, there's interplay with the drama of, Christine and Phyllis didn't always have a good relationship because they fought over man, Danny Romolotti, and ultimately he married Christine, but he had a child with Phyllis, of course, Daniel. So, okay. Then we go around the bend again, and the reason why Zuleyka Silver gets my hashtag today is because she gave a standout performance. First of all, gotta do the wardrobe thing. I don't do this very often because, like I said, I may be a girl, but I don't always notice fashion all the time. But I noticed it today because it was a good combo. It was really striking, and I like it a lot. And then they made her hair like bone straight, so it was really nice to look at. So it was cool. Okay, the reason she gets my hashtag is because she was playing the part of the best friend and really playing the part because she said to Sally, well, the whole time you've been talking about the baby and you being pregnant, you've been talking about Billy and Billy's emotions, and what about yours? And I'm like, yes. Then she moves on to there's more that he proposed to her last night and that she kind of has doubts. And then so Audrey says, well, why do you have doubt? Why? And then Sally opens up, and lo and behold, the writers did something right today. Thank you. They were able to weave in a part of Sally's past seamlessly with the role that she's on now. Okay? Because, as you may or may not know, which you should know by now, Courtney Hill played Sally Spector on Bone the Beautiful and Y&R. Okay? She's one of the rare ones that they took a character from one soap and translated it into the other soap. And what always I noticed first is how seamless is the transition. Like, do you actually believe that she's from Genoa City and she's not just like planted there? You know what I mean? So the fact that they did the storyline where I had forgotten because also kind of disclaimer here. I know Courtney Hope was on Bone the Beautiful. However, I haven't watched every episode of Bone the Beautiful yet. So I didn't know when the relationship with Wyatt happened, and I didn't know they were engaged. I didn't know that. Also, partly the reason I didn't know is maybe there was never an exchange of a ring from Wyatt to Sally. So, yeah, because she got into it today with Audra and said, well, technically I was engaged to Wyatt, but he never got me a ring. And apparently he got a ring for the other woman who he initially married. I mean, ultimately married or whatever. And so then Sally goes into the whole thing about how she always feels like she's not enough. She feels like she's a woman who never gets picked. You know, no one picks her, no one chooses to be engaged to her or whatever. And so she had a lot of, I guess, baggage from her past from this one dude. Okay. So then, as a good friend, Audra says, well, is it doubt or is it like nerves or what is it? And you got to ask yourself that. So then, okay. So then, kind of funny moment is, let's see, the funny moment. I'm trying to remember. Okay. So then Billy comes into the scene. Jason Thompson comes into the scene. And they make it so that Audra always wants to run whenever she sees Billy. And Jason Thompson kind of made a joke about it and said, I don't think she likes me. Every time she sees me, she wants to run. Like, she can't get out of the room or the whatever fast enough. And I'm like, yeah. But then he's like, which shows maturity. This shows maturity because after that he says, okay, I may not like her, but you like her and trust her, so that's good enough for me. I'm like, yes, man, the coup de grace for me. Okay. Jason Thompson, they told Jason Thompson, they're outside to get on one knee. He presents the ring, he opens the box again, gets on one knee, and says, Sally, will you marry me? And she says, yes. I jumped up and down on the inside. But I think I know why I like Courtney Hope so much. Okay. Because first of all, authenticity is huge for me. Like if I can feel like you are the character, then great. But then also if I get emotional connection to you or your character, that's it. Yeah, I'm in your corner always. And from the baby storyline to now the proposal storyline, I'm like, man, I really feel for this woman. Like, I really do. So, yeah. Okay. So then going around the bend because I have to cover everything. Which is not bad. Okay. Honorable mentions today. Michael Mueller really stood up for his dad, Jack, with oh, geez, the woman, Patty. So he's trying to get Patty out, and Patty says she's gonna stick around. So then here's a moment I didn't really like, not because I didn't like it, just because it doesn't make any sense. Okay, now to understand the gravity of the moment, you have to understand some things. The dynamic between Victor and Jack has always been fight. They're the best adversaries of anybody I've ever seen on a soap opera. Okay, reminiscent of throwing chairs out windows, putting fingers in faces, threatening to, whatever, all the time. Okay, for as long as like 80 something. I don't know, like 40 years. There's always been that kind of relationship, okay? Now, why while I agree with Jack wanting Victor to fess up, do the right thing, whatever, I don't know if I agree with Jack going on Victor's level to play Victor's game because I like a guy who's better than that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. At least we getting some new blood around here. Um, and Michael Miller, man, he's already good, but the more time you give him, he's gonna be great. I'm calling it because boy, that man can act. All right, bye guys.